jackpot amount. You don't get that. That's just the amount that is posted up there. You get after taxes a lot less than that.
Okay.
But I chose that as jackpot amount. Had I known now what I was working towards, I would have chosen to have $112 million in terms of the amount of money that I would put into my bank account and not just the jackpot. So I learned that. But it was exciting, you like for me, I did the work. I did the law of attraction work. I believed. And it's so important. If you say something, you got to believe. If you don't believe, then it's just like you're speaking to yourself. And, we get what we ask for is what I said. I always say that.
Mm-hmm.
You get what you ask for, and I did. So it was very, very exciting time.
So, just to explain to people, in America, when you win the lottery, you pay tax. In Ireland, you don't. It's tax-free. But
that's what I heard. That you guys don't pay taxes.
Yeah, we don't. Well, we do pay taxes, but we certainly don't pay it on the lottery. It's considered tax-free. But you do have an option in America that you can take it per year for the rest of your life or whatever it is and get a bigger amount. Or that's usually the way they do it, isn't it? Or something like that. Anyway, what was your first big purchase when you realized, I'm now a millionaire, and I'm not depending on anybody else for an income and to raise my children or to look after my children or help to raise my children financially. I'm now a millionaire. I can do everything myself. So I'm assuming you put all your debts in order. You paid off whatever debts you might have had. And what was your first kind of purchase or, luxury purchase?
The house that I imagined I would be in.
Mm-hmm.
There's a house that I focused on it. And I put the deposition.
Oh, your line is breaking up. Your line is just breaking up a little bit. Just move your head slightly. Go on. Okay, so the house that you imagined you were going to live in, you went and you looked for it.
Yeah, I knew where it was, and I purchased it.
And how much was the house?
It's about $3 million, I think.
Okay, nice house. by the sounds of things, very nice house. So you got your $3 million house. Did you buy a car or a couple of cars?
I did. I purchased for myself a Bentley convertible and a family van, a Mercedes van at the time.
Yeah.
And I imagined these things before they came into my life. And that's what the law of attraction is about, using your imagination, believing in it, and not doubting. And that's what I did. And I still do. I still do in life.
So you've all this money, you decided you'd focus then on your kind of dream career. So you were into television production or film production. So you opened your own production company.
I did. I don't have it at the moment. But it was great. I met a lot of people. Made a few films, independent films. Went to Cannes, I think three or four times. That was interesting. Going to Cannes and France, and various film festivals, and supporting other people's works and my own. But that was also a dream of mine to be part of the industry and make films and be involved with the theater, which I still am. I'm a board member of one of the most prestigious theaters in Los Angeles, the Geffen Playhouse, which is over in Westwood, and Westwood is right next to Beverly Hills. But I have been on board there for about 15 years, and anybody who's somebody usually comes through there.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're not producing a play, they're part of the audience, especially when we have our special event night. You'll see people. I think the last one we had, which was a few months ago, Jay Leno was the first person to step out and speak about his stage experience. And that's what it's about. It's called Backstage. And people get up and they talk about their experiences, good or bad. It's really a fun time.
Okay.
It's a charity.
So when you just after you had won, for the years following that, were you living the high life? Rubbing shoulders with celebrities and drinking in expensive restaurants and.
I'll say they were rubbing shoulders with me. They were more excited about me than me.
Oh, okay. I'd say, by the way, did you get a few TV appearances out of it? Because I'm assuming you did, and newspapers wanted to run a story on you. Yeah. So you were kind of launched into the limelight, so to speak.
I was.
When you look back at that time, by the way, when you were rubbing shoulders with the stars and going to fancy restaurants and buying an expensive car and that kind of lifestyle, do you regret any of that now?
No.
Okay.
No, because if it's something you ask for and you're excited about it, to me, you need to be in that place and enjoy your life. Because one thing I'm not going to do is worry about what people think, and just enjoy what I had focused on. That this is what I wanted at the time, and that's my motto in life. You just have to be okay with your choices. And I was. And yes, I did a lot of traveling. I did a lot of charitable work. I was over, I haven't made it to Ireland yet. But
you got to come here. And bring your money with you when you don't have it anymore. But you could have brought your money with you. I'm sure there's many an Irish man would have been very interested. Cynthia, did you find that suddenly you had more friends?
More fame?
No, friends. Did you have more friends all of a sudden because you all this wealth?
You know what? I think when you have more people want to seek you out. But I learned to still keep I'm pretty level-headed. I don't let that kind of stuff get to me. Because to me, I was the same before it happened and afterwards. So
yeah,
I kept my friends kind of close, and I have a small circle, and that's how I like to keep it.
Yeah.
Because you get to know who's real and who isn't. And yeah, I think it's best.
So
I don't need to have people like in the admiration road. I don't mind people admiring, but it's not a big deal for me.
Now let's roll on time here. 2016, 9 years later. Not a long time, really, in the big scheme of things. You filed for bankruptcy. So you had gone through all of the money. And
no, not necessarily.
Well, you filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
But you still have your house, I assume, and the stuff that you purchased or you bought. But it must have been difficult, after having that much money, living the lifestyle, and then having to file for bankruptcy. That must have been hard for you.
No, not really. I'm still here. What bankruptcy is, let's see here, is reorganizing. And that's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
I just reorganized some things. And, it was a lesson. It taught me some things. And I'm still the same person. Money does not make a person. It's who you are inside. So,
but money does. Money changes people, doesn't it?
Donald Trump filed bankruptcy several times. Nobody talks about him.
Oh, this is true.
A lot of wealthy people do. A lot of wealthy people do because I know, and I know this. But no one says anything. Yeah.
I mean, you're right. Money shouldn't change people, but sadly, money does, and we've seen some tragic stories of people who have won lotteries around the world. And they were ordinary, average, everyday, happy people, and then they win the lottery, and it destroys their life.
That's because they put their focus on who they were as a result of money, and not who they were as a result of being a human being first. If you don't have a sense of yourself, and you tie your self-worth into money, then a person like that, they will not stand and they will not be strong.
But just
so I've never if I allow money to do that.
But to clarify, you're not broke. Well, you filed for bankruptcy, but you're not broke. You're okay.
I'm okay. Yeah.
And I suppose,
I'm getting better.
yeah, your kids done well because your kids will get a good education, of course, because you could afford it. So your kids will do okay out of
They're
it.
all grown. And my youngest, I think, just turned 28.
Wow. Yeah. Well, at the time, of course, they were a lot younger. I suppose they were excited for you too. That was probably great for them too. That man, we're suddenly moving into a $3 million house. That'd be nice.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Was this $3 million house, by the way? Was it in a nice area?
Yeah, it was close to the beach. I mean, where I lived prior wasn't too far from the beach either. But I'm going to tell you, I'm very methodical, and the house that I moved from was a house that I manifested too. I manifested a house in a really nice part of the city I was living in, which was Hawthorne. And I was told that I would not find a house at the price that I wanted, and I was determined. And it showed up 2 weeks later, and the real estate agent called me shocked. She's like, "Okay, you're a witch or something." And I'm like, "No, not at all." She said, "Because the house showed up like what you asked for." And I wanted to fix it up because I knew it would be a lot less, but still would have the bones that I needed. So houses are going for like $500,000 or $600,000, and I got it for half of that. So I'm really, my thing is, if you can see it, if you can believe it, it can happen. And
so, okay, for the listeners listening who want to manifest something, or they have a vision or a focus, or there's something they dream they want. I don't know what it is, to own a certain type of car or to have a nice house. Or explain to me, when you say the law of attraction, and people have read the very famous book by Rhonda Byrne, but how do you manifest it? Do you sit down and close your eyes and visualize it? Is that the way you do it?
Yes, I do. I meditate. I do visualize. In fact, I have a book been out for about a year now called Seeing. And it's about using the law of attraction to attract what you want in your life. Not just money, but whatever it is. Because what you put your mind on and focus on, you will bring, good or bad. And that's my experience, and I know it works. If you do the affirmations and take the time to really know how the mind works, I coach people and I tell them, your subconscious mind is the most important thing, because it's acting in the background and will direct your life. Like you're with the work that you're doing and how you're living your life. You've programmed your mind to be where you are and to do the things you do. If you want to move up more, you got to see it. You have to you have to use that imagination that you have. And childlike and say, you know what? I think I'd like to have more in my life. And then start seeing that. Seeing your life with what you want. So that's what I did. And that's what all the so-called sages or people who are masters of the law of attraction have done. You see it. You have to see it. You have to visualize. And so that's what I did. And I did it consistently. And I wasn't doing it all day. I always take a few minutes in the morning. That's when your mind is more lucid, where it's more amiable to receiving the message or helping you. Or late at night when you're tired, because you need to be in a space where you don't have a lot of mind traffic. Or you don't have a lot
I get mind traffic. Yeah. So would it be so let's just say, for example, you buy a house that you want or you'd like. Would it be a good idea to have a house that maybe that's what I'd like, that type of house there, and save it on your phone?
Yeah, that's what I tell people. They're interested. I said, make your vision board. You can use your phone, you can use your computer, or get poster board or something. Or just download pictures from the internet. What it is you want. Car, house, even if it's clothes, jewelry, whatever it is that you want to attract, Because when you can see it, it's just a matter of being it. And it does happen. It happens all the time.
You know, older people are wiser than us, generally speaking. Now, my mother, before so am I, by the way. Can I just say I'm 60 next week in a week and a half? But my mother, who passed away about 10, she would always say, if it's meant for you, it won't pass you. Which is kind of similar in a way, isn't it? That things are meant to happen in your life, and things are meant for you in life.
Yes, it is. If you believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if something's happening and you don't like it, you got to check your thoughts. And that's what I tell myself and others. If it's something that's not right, check how you're thinking about something. Because that's the time where you have to really recognize, like, if I think negative about this situation, whether it's like, say, a car accident or something, are you riding and thinking, oh, I got to be so careful and putting fear out there? You put that fear is going to find you. So your mom is right. That if it's meant to be, it's going to be good or bad. That's what I tell people.
So get rid of all the negative energy. Get rid of all the negative energy. You want all that gone.
You have to. You want a better quality of life. You want to feel better, look better. You got to let it go. You can't even play with it. Like, people think, they make little jokes about things and, this will never happen, or, just little things they say to themselves. They don't recognize that they're programming themselves in their minds to believe that. And then they keep getting the same result and wondering why they're not winning money, not finding the right partner, job, or whatever it is that they're seeking at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because it can come as quickly as you believe it and you train your mind to believe it. Or it can keep taking its time while you work on yourself. So
can I ask you?
You got to do the work.
Sorry for interrupting, but the numbers that you picked in the lottery, were they just random numbers, or were they like what most people do, birthdays?
Quick picks. I focused on the amount of that jackpot and how I would feel at the time when it came, and also seeing myself purchasing the things I said I was going to have. That's what I focused on. It sounds simple, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does sound simple. I'm going to do the lottery this weekend.
Okay.
Jane, my producer, how much is the Euro Millions this weekend? I think it's usually between 80 and 120 million. I have a 1 in 37 million chance of winning, but you never know. Could be me. It
could be you. And that's another thing. Don't worry about the competition.
Well, actually, you know what I'm going to say? You know what I've learned? You know what I've learned from this conversation tonight? I'm not going to say it could be me. It is going to be me.
That's what you have to say.
Well, look.
You got to claim.
I'm claiming it. Yeah, it's mine.
Somebody else step up.
Yeah, it's mine.
That's right.
You can all get your hands off it. It's mine. Okay, I'm looking. Okay, well, it's actually quite low this week. It's 39 million. I don't care. 39 million will do me. So, just for people who are interested, by the way, you have a book out. It's called Seeing. And I suppose, obviously, aptly named Seeing, because that's exactly what you're telling people to do. You got to see these things. You got to see yourself with these things. You got to see yourself living in these houses, riding in these cars, having that money in your hand. You got to see it. Believe it.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
been wonderful talking to you, Cynthia. You're a ray of hope and sunshine. And you're such a happy woman, too, by the way.
Thank you. I learned to be happy.
I'm sure you will. 100.